Yes, it is the CastWorthy podcast, and we are back at you. I am Big Steve, aka Last of a Dying Breed, joined by the one VP today. Uh, EJ may join us shortly. I'm sure he's swimming up from the bottom of a bottle of tequila somewhere or bourbon, his fave. But it is a beautiful Sunday, November 14th, right in the middle of fall. 70 degrees, beautiful here in Florida. Actually, it's a little bit cooler, but 70 is our high today. I know you in Miami, from Miami, is that's kind of cold for you, huh?
Oh yeah, man. Definitely cool. Went out last night. We had a like a little dinner for my niece. It was for her birthday. Walked out or rolled out. Was like, oh shit, like, and it probably was like 70 something, but it felt cold as hell. And especially since I'm having trouble with my AC in the apartment, so I like walk out of a sauna into a fucking blizzard.
Mm.
So it was definitely a big change in temperature.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the temperature was dropping last night. So I worked last night, and when I came out of work, I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, what is this? What is this brisk wind?" So yeah, man. But Thanksgiving's coming. A couple weeks away from Thanksgiving. Can't wait to get some stuffing in me.
Oh man, here we go.
you,
Here we go.
you know, macaroni and cheese and stuffing, the two best sides on Thanksgiving. What's up with these turkey prices, dog? Like, have you realized how expensive turkeys are right now?
I mean, turkeys have always been kind of expensive, but this year more so just with everything happening with all these supply chain issues and things like that. So it's making the cost of everything go up. I mean, when gas prices go up, food prices go up because they got to deliver that shit on trucks. So yeah, we're gonna be stuck with these high prices for a little bit with inflation. They're saying it might be transitory, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are making life decisions when whether or not they want to buy a turkey or pay their rent this month.
Right.
It's like it's crazy. I
Yeah.
seen a lot of people saying they're just gonna do a bunch of like chickens, like
Hmm.
small chickens or wings and shit. Which
We did
really, I
that last
mean,
year, or not last year. The year before, like, because like we always got a turkey, but we don't really eat turkey like that. And so
right?
it's like we eat it because it's there, but. And so, last year with COVID, we didn't really do like anything big. So the year before, when we had like the last regular Thanksgiving, we just got a ham, and then we got like a bunch of chicken and did like some baked chicken and shit like that because we don't really eat turkey like that.
Yeah, we are trained minds
Hmm.
as humans that for Thanksgiving you have to have a turkey and shit.
Right.
And so everyone gets a fucking turkey because they tell us that's what the pilgrims serenaded our people with.
Right. I,
Um
I watched this video, Steve, on how I'd be sending you guys those Vox videos, Vox VOX. Um
mhm.
um and they did like a breakdown of like how like bacon became a thing. And it's kind
Mm.
of like how you were saying, like we're just programmed. And they had some guy who ran like a meat factory, and he was like, why are we throwing away all of this, stomach lining or wherever the fuck bacon comes from on the pig. And they were like, well, nobody eats that. And he was like, I mean, we can get them to eat it. And then they start promoting it like, oh, you can have bacon with your eggs, or, you can have a BLT and all. And they just kept promoting it and promoting it. And then all of a sudden, like bacon becomes a thing. So it's almost like, if somebody decides, why we throwing away these fucking pig ears, like,
Right.
or this cow's tongue, do something with that. It
That's
was just them trying to make more profit.
that's what people are doing right now. That's what
Hmm.
I mean, or that's how we got here. People,
Yeah.
yeah. It's crazy, man. So I think when you ask and you poll people, the bulk of people don't fucking eat turkey on Thanksgiving.
Right.
Like you might eat a little bit just because it's there, right? But like, it's not like you know, it's not like one of those dishes where it's like if somebody forgot it, you went to go make your plate, you'd be like, oh shit, where's the turkey? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But you would be like, where the fuck is the mac and cheese at? Like nobody made
Exactly.
mac and cheese. It's almost like cranberry sauce, right? We
Hmm.
Cranberry sauce is a thing. For years, we used to always have it at Thanksgiving, and every single year we would eat and forget that we left it in the refrigerator.
Yo,
Every
I was
year.
waiting. I was waiting for you to finish so I can literally say that because we had it every year, and to be honest, I can't even tell you what cranberry sauce tastes like. Like I've had it, but it's not. It's almost like, what did we get this for? You know.
Right.
But it's one of those things, like you said, like we just programmed that. Oh, it's Thanksgiving, so you gotta make cranberry sauce. You gotta make turkey. You got,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like you don't have, it's whatever you want to eat. Just like with Christmas. Like a lot of times for Christmas, we were eating the same shit we normally eat at Thanksgiving because you see the
Mm-hmm.
turkeys are out Christmas, Thanksgiving time frame. And one Christmas we decided let's do like a non-traditional thing. We did like Italian shit. We had like lasagna and
Lasagna and
fucking
shit.
chicken
Yeah.
Alfredo and all kind of shit like that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's all the point of Thanksgiving is getting together with your family, to be thankful for what you have and all this kind of shit like that. It's not to eat turkey, but
Right.
the food industry has made it no. It's not about being thankful that you didn't die from COVID. Not about being thankful that we got a vaccine that could get us out of this pandemic. It's about turkey. You know what I mean? specifically, me, the turkey seller, separating you, the consumer, from your $40.
Right. Right.
So,
For a turkey. But it really is about stuffing. That is the true baseline. Stuffing is the baseline of Thanksgiving. Like if there was
oh
no
God.
like you could throw Thanksgiving away with no stuffing. Like to me, no stuffing, throw the shit away, man. I'm out. Call me on Christmas and y'all better have some damn stuffing.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
fuck with y'all. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. Couple weeks away.
Yep.
Anything eventful happened to you this past week?
This week I would say no. Yesterday, my wife almost had to she thought she was gonna go to prison yesterday. They have
It's nothing new for Aaron.
yeah. So they got a bowling tournament here at Boardwalk SYC. It's like a big tournament that's sponsored by Storm.
Mhm.
And they do like multiple, they do like one tournament every month, but it's in different states around the country. So they're in Orlando for this one. And so he's in this one. It's a big tournament. It's like she met a family that was there from New Jersey. People drive in from other places. So it's a really big tournament. And so they're there, and you had this white woman who was being very caucastic, and so TJ's bowling, and he's not having a good game. So she calls him back and she's like, "Hey, what's going on? What are you seeing out there? What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm trying to find the line here, blah, blah." And so she's like, "Okay, well, you try to do this, blah, blah, blah." She's trying to go over stuff that his coach tells him, because his coach is not there. So he goes back to bowl, and he does what she tells him to do. He ends up getting a strike. And this woman turns to her and says, "He's probably not bowling good because you have a negative attitude."
Oh.
And Aaron was like, and you know how she gets when it comes to teaching. So she was like, "Don't worry about us. You don't know us. You don't know my kid. Da da da. Like, just mind your fucking business. So she says TJ gets up to bowl again, and he throws a strike, and then he comes back to Aaron. He's trying to tell her, "Okay, I made this adjustment. Da da da." And when he's walking back, the lady's like, "There you go, good job." She starts like clapping, like being excessive. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she's like, "Come here, come here, come here, give me a high five." And so they do that, and then as TJ's walking away, she turns and says, "That's how you cheer for him." And then so Aaron loses it a little bit, And then she calls me and she's like, "This lady about to make me fuck her up or whatever." And I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" So I get her calm and shit or whatever. But for them, they move throughout the tournament. So it's like you bowl on this one lane for these games, and you move lanes and stuff. So once they moved, they weren't near this woman anymore. But Aaron was fucking pissed, and I'm like, oh my god, like,
She didn't want to
so,
take parenting advice from yeah. I
so
tell you, man, people just, it's a weird world, man. It's a
yeah.
world we're living in.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of caucastic, fuck it, let's stay there. The governor, or mayor, I think, mayor, the governor, whatever, Wisconsin has put out a statement, asking people, who are not from the area of Kenosha to stay away on Monday because they expect that there may potentially be a verdict that comes down in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. They got 500 National Guard individuals ready for deployment, for call at a drop of a dime. And I find it kind of ironic that they would ask people not to travel to the area, to protest or to respect the area and the privacy of the locals and so on, right? In the trial, this motherfucker traveled there to kill some people. Like, it's just crazy, man. And as I'm watching this trial, we know what that means, right? We know them putting National Guard on notice. We know what it's going to be. You know what I mean? We know what it's going to end up to be, and they're basically going let this dude walk, and it's probably going to turn into a civil thing at that point.
And I think that you're absolutely right. Given that, I think I've heard that the place he lives at in Illinois is like 4 hours away or something like that. And so apparently you travel 4 hours to help people with first aid and all this bullshit he was saying at the trial, which is just complete fucking bullshit. But yeah, it's like you said, it's very ironic that you're asking people to stay away, if you don't live there, given that this motherfucker traveled from somewhere else to be there during a protest and shit like that. So it's fucking wild. But like to your point, I think he's gonna get off. And the only thing that I think that he potentially is going to be found guilty of is one of the things they charged him with was like being in possession of that gun because he wasn't legally able to have it. And that more than likely won't even result in jail time. That'll probably be like probation, and with who gives a shit, so
yeah, I mean, you have the possession piece, and then you have the traveling across state lines, which I don't know if they even put a charge in for that. I don't know if the prosecutors went after that. But you got the criminal piece right now, which he's going to get off scot-free, and then you'll have the there's going to be, I'm sure there's going to be the civil side of it where people are going to try and go after it, and it'll be little shit, but ultimately the message that they will be sending to supremacists is stay armed, protect yourself with lethal what is that force with lethal force, and you'll be fine, right? You're fine as long as you can prove that these people might have potentially in the back of their mind thought about harming you because they were coming in your direction, right? And that's the problem that I have with it, right? Listen, I get all that happened there. I could give a shit about him, but what stops these supremacists that support him and the people of the likes from going into the hood somewhere and screaming out, "Fuck you, niggers," and then they start walking away or running away, because people, it's us, we're reactive, right? We're reactive people, and we're gonna be like, what were they, and then you got 10, 5, however many of us start going towards them. We're gonna beat this, you're gonna beat his ass, blah 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 blah, right? and somebody gets shot. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but it can happen. And this is what they're telling you can happen, and you'll be perfectly fine. Just make sure that this person is coming to it. Similar to, like, remember all those years ago where people start saying, "Oh, I'm gonna start carrying a knife with me, because if I throw the knife to this person, I could say that they were going to harm me with this weapon because they had
Mhm.
it and I was protecting myself." That's kind of where we are with
Yeah.
this.
And and kind of to your point, like that's kind of where you've gone with these or where we are with these stand your ground laws, where before and Wisconsin doesn't have a stand your ground law, and that's one thing that may, again, I don't think this kid is going to get found guilty, so but that's one thing that may have worked even better in his favor if they did have one of those stand your ground laws,
Right.
because with those stand your ground laws, under normal self-defense, you have a duty to retreat, right? So you can use force up until a point to where you're out of danger, and then you have a duty to retreat, right? And with stand your ground, it's like, no, you don't got a duty to retreat. You can keep aggressing until there's until there or moving forward until there's no more threat, So literally, with he could have said, okay, this one guy attacked me, and I don't know if these other people were with him, so I just shot everybody. I killed 30 of these
Right.
motherfuckers just to make, because I'm not sure, you know.
Right.
And I thought that the prosecutor raised a good point, but didn't beat down on it hard enough. And I hope that he does in his closing argument on Monday, of when he shot that second guy, and he was like, "Why did you shoot him?" And the guy and Rittenhouse said, "Because he was trying to kill me," or something like that. And he was like, "You don't think maybe they were coming at you because you had just killed somebody?" You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and I feel like that point has not been made enough in this trial, and especially when he took the stand, is to say his whole argument is that these people were trying to kill me, they were trying to come after me, I had to defend myself. And okay, let's say let's give you the first one and say that guy was trying to attack you, so you shot him to get him off of you. But now you just murdered somebody, even if it was, let's say it was self-defense, but the crowd don't know that at this point. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? All they know is this kid with a gun just shot somebody. Let's try to subdue him so he can't get away, so the cops can arrest him, you know. And so it kind of goes back to, I always bring this up because I feel like it's an apt example of the Trayvon and George Zimmerman thing, right? Zimmerman's following Trayvon. Zimmerman gets out and approaches him. He says Trayvon, hits him or whatever, But at what point is Trayvon defending himself? I'm a minor. I'm 15 years old. I'm walking home. It's the middle of the night. This man is following me, and now he gets out and approaches me, So where do the lines begin and end when we talk about self-defense? And do those lines, kind of ebb and flow, right? Because, you know, if we're fighting, we're both kind of defending ourselves, right? Technically, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's crazy, but again, I think he's gonna get off, and mainly the big reason I think he's gonna get off is because his defense lawyer, aka the judge,
Mhm.
has been doing an awesome job.
His
So
uncle.
so that shit has just, I haven't really watched this trial. I only watched the day that he testified, because
Right.
most people don't testify in their own trial. So but this judge, from everything, just that day, it was like, yo, this judge is out of fucking control. And then I start seeing like people who commentate on this shit, who's like, yo, this fucking judge, like, the judge has to make a decision whether or not he's going to oversee the case or act as defense attorney. you
Right.
know this shit has been
Right.
amazing.
And then I wonder if, as prosecutors, you know, what the limitation is on that, on calling that out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Post trial, listen, man, you guys, anybody can see this. You can see that this guy is biased. He's fully biased.
Mm-hmm.
We need a retrial. But yeah, it's just a mess, man. It's a mess. They're sending a really fucked up message. You got this guy that got half his arm blown off, you know, in there, trying to tell you people, like, listen, I was there. Like, I know what you guys see on this video. I know what your perception was, but I was there. And sure, this guy, this bald headed guy, sure he was, and I forget his name, and it escapes me. He was aggressive, right? And you can get away with that, but beyond that, our concern, you have to think like us, right? We're in a group and we're supportive of this man, and you just killed him. So now we fear for our lives.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we weren't trying to stop you just for the police. Maybe we were trying to disarm you because we don't know where you might go from there. You just shot and killed one of us. We don't know if you have another 15, 20 rounds in there that you plan on shooting at the rest of us. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's what people they have to really consider and think about as well. And then there's also other videos where, as they're running, you see people pointing to him and kind of telling, kind of trying to wave the cop down, saying, "Hey, he just shot someone. He just shot
Right.
someone," in the videos, right? And the cops are not responsive at all. They're like, "Oh, it's all right. He's white."
Yeah.
Oh, oh, you want? No, he's white. He's good. He's good. It's good here.
Yeah.
His money's good.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's tough, man. It's tough watching this shit. Um, and we'll see. We'll see where
Yeah.
it goes.
And one other thing, real quick, that I saw that they said the judge did here is, normally when you watch trials, especially trials dealing with like violence, right? They bring up past shit because these things, they try to make the argument of this thing is not some random thing to happen. This person is naturally geared towards violence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that they left out that the jury is not going to hear about is the fact that I think they said it was like 2 years ago he like beat the shit out of this girl, and they wanted to bring that up. The judge said no, you can't hear that because it'll bias the jury. There was also another incident. I think it was a video or maybe a witness or something like that. I can't remember the context of where they said he saw somebody shoplifting and he said something like, I wish I had my gun so I can shoot him, or something like that. I would either beat him up or shoot him. I can't remember the exact verbiage. So sorry about that. But still, they wanted to bring that up to show this dude is wired for violence. You know what I
Right.
mean? So last night wasn't some freak accident. This is this dude who thinks that he's Batman. He's a vigilante.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna go out and solve the world's problems, and he's gonna do so with violence. But the judge said, no, you can't do that. The only
Yeah.
thing you, prosecutor, are allowed to say is that this guy was just a good kid who wanted to go out and help his
Mm-hmm.
community, and he was using he went out with his orange fanny pack, and he was going to be providing first aid to people that he learned while he was a lifeguard doing a summer job. Bro, come on, dog.
Where was the first aid for the guy you just shot?
Right.
You were
But
there to provide first aid. I didn't see you try to provide CPR. I didn't see you go, try to assist this man that you just shot, who at this point is now wounded.
exactly. But at the same time, though, we're talking about a 17-year-old kid at the time who left wherever he lives in Illinois and drove hours to get to Kenosha to provide first aid. Come on, dog.
Well, in the
Like
passenger seat. That's
and
important.
but it's like it's like you have to suspend reality to believe this shit, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's crazy.
Right. And it's not like you're out there providing first aid because like 9/11, right? Towers got knocked down. You're like, "Oh shit, I need to get out there and I need to help save people," right? I see that the fire department and the police are really struggling. They can use every hand they can get. I'm certified, I'm trained. Let me get out there, help, support, support, support. No,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about 4 hours. Hey mom, can you take me over here because I'm about to set it off, right?
Right.
Or what they're trying to make us believe. He's like, well, they're rioting and I need to help the city. Like, I need to keep the city safe. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Exactly.
You, as a supremacist, saw something that was aligned with Black Lives Matter and decided we're gonna go take, I'm gonna go take this shit into my own hands.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some type of Facebook group, maybe some type of back end group somewhere, that said, hey, we're gonna all meet up here because allegedly he went with just his mom, but he met up with other people, right? So you can't tell me that it wasn't planned, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't say, oh well, they didn't plan to come together. He knew these guys, and then you get to the him beating up the girl, and then you got the video or the pictures that have surfaced of him on the internet where he's taking pictures with the white power sign up with
Mm-hmm.
known
With the Proud Boys.
supremacists, right, with known supremacists, with a shirt that says free as fuck. Like, come
Mm-hmm.
on, man. You telling me, oh, this is a good kid. He's a good
Right.
kid. He just wants to get back into his education and go to college and get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
If he was black.
And I also feel like this. I mean, and the prosecutor, I think this may be a function of how the judge has acted in the trial, and maybe the prosecutor feels like I don't want to go there because then I'm going to get some shit from the judge, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, this dude's on trial for murdering 3 people, right? That's what the state is alleging. He's saying self-defense. They're saying it's murder. He committed perjury on the stand. He told them that he's enrolled in some program at Arizona State or something like that, like an online course. And the college brought a statement. They were saying no. Now this thing might be splitting hairs, and it might just be because I'm taking a side here. I'm on the side that he murdered those people. So it's probably why I feel some kind of way about it. But he said like he's enrolled in, I don't know, let's just call it like a nursing program. And they're like, no, he's not. He enrolled at the school. He's not in that program,
Right.
And I feel like, charge this motherfucker with perjury. You know what I mean? Like, and it's probably because I feel like he's not going to get found guilty. So I'm just like, throw everything at him. You know what I mean? Like, if Wisconsin got one of them laws like from the 1800 that said you can't eat ice cream after 5 o'clock, let's find out if he did that. You know,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I'm sick of this shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah. If his name wasn't Kyle Rittenhouse, if it was Keyshawn Johnson,
right?
First of all, he probably wouldn't have made it to trial.
Mm-hmm.
If Keyshawn was running down the street with an AR and someone just got shot, them cops wasn't going to protect them and be like, "Oh, what's going on, buddy?
Right.
What took place?
You need some
Are
water?
you safe?" Yeah, exactly. So it's just a double standards of America, man. I saw that man, and I think I lost it. I was gonna send it to you guys earlier. Ben and Jerry's put out a statement. They've been on the side of justice for a while. When everything came out about George Floyd and so on. Ben and Jerry's made a very, very strong statement.
Yep.
But they made a statement yesterday, and I have a feeling they have like maybe Keisha from the Compton store running their department for this type of stuff. But the statement they put out is the Rittenhouse trial displays yet again that our justice system is racist. How would this trial be going if he was a black 17-year-old that crossed state lines illegally carrying an AR-15 and shot 3 white protesters? We need real justice in the legal system, and this isn't it. And signed Ben and Jerry's. So they've been on that side of the board for the last couple of years, and it's good to see that you have some big name brands and stuff like that are out there that are being supportive of of these types of things, and on the right side of right and wrong, right? Like,
right.
That's really what it comes down to. It shouldn't be, and unfortunately it's always turned into right versus left, black versus white, and it's not. It should be right versus wrong, in all of these cases, especially this one. This is a right versus wrong thing. This isn't a black versus white thing. Like and it's just getting turned into it, and it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, and you got to call a spade in that, and that's basically what they're doing. People go in and they think, oh, justice is blind and all this kind of, and it's not. When you go and you watch court cases, if the person is rich, I would tell you, I don't know if these statistics are real, but in my mind, if the person's rich, I'm going to tell you there's like a 95% chance they're getting off. You know what I mean? And if they're rich and white, I would take it to like 99.9.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if they're rich and black, I would lower the percentages some, but they're probably going to get off. But they're going to get more scrutiny, but still, and the system favors the rich and powerful, and you look at as an example, right? You look at stuff like we were talking in pre-production a little bit about like stocks and shit, and you look at how some of these people with the insider trading shit, you know, they I don't know if you remember this, like 3-4 years ago, actually might have been longer than that, but they hit Phil Mickelson, the golfer, on some insider trading shit. We made a couple $1 million off some non-public information, and he didn't get charged. All he did is gave the money. He just donated the money that he made, the profit, to like a charity. That's it. You know, so we constantly see people who are rich or powerful escape justice or whatever. So it's and this guy's not rich or powerful, but he's white, and
Right.
and that shit carries a lot of currency in this justice system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if you made a chart, a Gantt chart about this type of thing, you got, white landing at about 70% chance of getting off. Add money to white. Now you got it. You jump up to about 95,
Mm-hmm.
96%. You got black somewhere about 30 to 40% of a chance, maybe even lower. Add money to that, you got about 50 to 60% of getting off. Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Right.
But
That's like that joke Chris Rock told when he was like, um, he was like, he was like, if there, he was like, there's a, he was like, there's a white one-legged busboy somewhere that wouldn't switch places with him. And he was like, and I'm rich. And he was
right,
like, they'd be like, hey, you want to switch places with Chris Rock? And he might, man, I think I'm gonna ride this white thing out, see where it takes
right,
me. You know what I
right,
mean?
right. Yeah,
So, it's just it's different, man. And people go on TV and try to pretend like all things are equal here, and it's not. And it's like, come on, dude, like what the fuck are we talking about here or whatever, Like, you fucking killed 3 people and the prosecution can't talk about your previous acts of violence. Like, how the fuck, like, when have we ever seen a black person gets killed and we got to hear about they smoked weed 5 years ago?
right.
They're the one who got killed. They're the victim, and we got to hear about, they got a C on this book report. I don't know if is this kid really a good guy?
Right.
Like,
Did you see his Facebook pictures? He
right?
was with a guy that carries a gun.
Yeah.
Like, all right. Yeah. So
So
that's where we live, man. This is America. This
kid
is
had his hat
America.
on backwards. I mean, he had it coming.
Right.
The fuck.
Yeah, man. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Maybe the one black person on the jury will hang it and be like, nah, dog. I know y'all feel a certain way, but
Yeah.
I owe this one I owe this one to my people, man.
Yeah.
Um,
That might be get a hung jury, then they try him again, and then come back with maybe get a different judge, and then you come back with a stronger case. Maybe, I don't know.
right. Um, all right. What else is going on, man? What's going on the political front?
On the political front, man, you got obviously the infrastructure deal that passed. Biden's going to sign it into law tomorrow.
Okay.
Congress has been off, so he wanted to have like a big sign. I mean, this is going to be a signature piece of legislation, so he wants to have a big signing ceremony at the White House with all the congressional folks there that help get it through. So they're going to do that tomorrow. You don't have a choice but to do it tomorrow, just because under the Constitution, like, once the Congress passes a law, he has 10 days to either sign it or veto it. If he doesn't, it goes into law automatically. So tomorrow is kind of like the last day that he can do it. So,
Okay.
but yeah, they're gonna do that tomorrow. On the VP front, we don't normally get a lot of VP news, but Kamala Harris this week is in France, or she's back now, but she was in France the past like 4 or 5 days. She was over there. It was Armistice Day, which is like when World War One ended. So the French were like huge allies for us back then. We got a lot. There's actually a multiple national U.S. cemeteries of our dead that are buried in France. Um, she was over there for that, as well as some other meetings like on climate change, stuff like that. And the right has been making a big controversy because apparently Kamala is doing like a fake French accent to try to seem more French, because when she visited this one lab that's doing like some kind of work on COVID in France, and she was talking about something, and she said, "This is the issue of our time." And because she said "the," she's pretending to be French.
Oh well,
You
yeah.
know,
I
so
mean,
they gotta beat her up. You know, so
yeah.
that
Well, she's speaking the Queen's English, right?
right. You know, and so um
Uh,
and so you had that happen, and I'm pretty sure I saw a video of her on the last day there. She went, Kamala talks about she loves cooking, and um so she went to this store that sells like pots and pans and shit, and she was telling the guy what she wants, and apparently I found this out in this video. I didn't know this at all. Kamala speaks French, and so
oh,
she's
really?
yeah, so she's talking to the guy, and she's like, woo 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 woo, what I mean? She's and her and the guy going back and forth, and so I'm pretty sure like once that video, because I saw it on YouTube, so I'm pretty sure like once the video starts making the rounds on Fox News and stuff, you have people, why is the vice president speaking French? Speak American, god damn it. So
Right.
that'll be the next thing, I guess.
Yeah, she's a spy. She's
Yeah,
planning something with them, even though somebody can translate for you.
exactly.
You know that.
So it's funny too, because like now that like after I seen that video, cause I watch, I'm into politics, so I watch all kind of shit like of the motorcades and them like arriving to places. And so when she's leaving, she's on the tarmac, and so they got like a line of people who are waiting to see her off, and the interpreter is standing behind the people, so like they're listening, and then when the person says something, they're gonna like say he's saying blah 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 blah. But because Kamala speaks French, like the people are talking, and you just see the interpreter like she's not really saying anything or whatever,
right.
And I'm like, oh, I guess that's why this chick just is standing, because I just assumed the people were speaking English, but now that I know she can speak French, I'm assuming that they were just talking to each other in French or whatever. But yeah, so that's you've had that going on, but other than that, not too much happening on the politics front.
Political front. Okay. All right. I see we talked about a little bit of what was in that in the infrastructure deal last week. Not a great detail, but one of the things that stuck out to me rather was the information about the EVs and the charging stations and stuff like that. And for anyone who's been watching the market, there's been an increase in some of those electric vehicle companies. So it's important, man. It's important for those who say that these types of changes don't impact us or affect us. I mean, gotta pay attention, man. Gotta pay attention.
What the
Was
ball
good, man.
got. Yo, almost got
that,
two
that
fights
damn
yesterday, yo.
that dog
What's
must
that?
have been constipated or something, man. That was a long shit.
Nah, the
Right.
rest was me. You almost
Nigga,
got
did
two
you get-
fights yesterday, yo.
Did you get hair plugs? Where does he get all that hair from? He
Yo.
was bald. He was bald a week ago. Now you got like a whole fro. Like,
He pulled LeBron on us.
I am the king. Yo, almost got in two fights yesterday, yo.
Wow.
yeah.
Yo, pull up at the spot yesterday to drink with the homies, right? And Ira came from out of town, right? Get to the spot. This hot looking 38-year-old white woman is sitting amongst my friends, looking like a gangbang video's about to occur. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, yo, that's what it looks like. It literally looks like the start of a bad porno. So
Black.com.
exactly. So she's sitting there, she's
I never
mingling with
usually
these
see the
dudes.
beginning.
Right. She's sitting there with these dudes. And then I noticed there's this white guy off to the side, pretty big white dude. So I'm like, oh man, this dude, when I tell you he is stupid drunk, he can't even speak. And then he's getting mad at every black guy that comes up to her. So of course, I just walk in there. He comes at me like, are you trying to smash her? I'm like, bro, who's her? I just got here. That went on for like 2 hours. Literally 2 hours. And eventually he went out, he left, and we was going to jump him. It was what it was. Then we go to the next spot. I'm in there, and apparently I'm standing next to somebody's mother because the son comes up to me.
That
He's
doesn't
like,
surprise me.
I didn't even see the woman. And you know
With
what?
your choice.
I'm mad that I didn't see her. I'm mad that I didn't see her until he said something because she was beautiful. He was like, yo, that's my mother, yo. I said, who? Who's your problem? Yo, this youngin in a bubble jacket. I told him, son, I'll beat the shit out of you and take everything you got. Leave for me now. His mother then comes, who was apparently standing there, bad as shit, and says, nothing happened. You out of pocket. Get out the way before you get hurt. Because we was going to kill this kid. I ain't even do nothing. But I should have talked to his mother though. That's the worst part about it. Why people bothering me last night? I don't understand it.
It's got to be the hair.
Yeah, maybe
You-
so.
You look like
I look soft.
you look like a nice, wholesome man, young man with short hair. And now you look like a thug. You look like a gangster. You belong in BMF.
Shit is crazy. Yo, that shit was crazy, man. And each time I'm like, damn, I didn't even do anything this time. But his mother was gorgeous though. I wish I talked to her.
You should have after.
Oh,
I'm
now,
sorry. sorry.
now. Actually, because I got the hard part out the way. I know you got a fucking aggressive ass little son and shit. I'd have to Jody that motherfucker. Jody? I had to Jody that boy.
It's been one of those weeks. That's kind of where the show started at, man. We're talking about white folks being out of pocket.
Oh, yeah, Adam, wherever you are, Adam from York, Pennsylvania, you're a fucking dick. and your wife is terrified of you. Yo, the crazy part about her, she
Most of them
left
are.
she left the bar last night, right? She left her phone on the bar, took her jacket, and left her purse. And we thought she went out behind him. This broad went and just left with no phone. She must have gotten the first car she could find.
Damn.
Because she literally left her phone on the joint. And he was like, she's the mother of my kids. Yo, she was bad too.
I would have unlocked it. Never mind. Never mind.
Shout out to Adam.
So we talked about already. You've missed the Rittenhouse recap. And the fact that he's gonna get off. National Guard's gonna be there, and they don't care about anybody that supports blacks or Black Lives Matters. And we Vari gave us our political view real quick. I've been following.
Did he tell us how much of a piece of shit Biden is?
I don't know.
No, for the Negro comment.
I just want my
For the-
reparations and student loans.
Well, he just made a blunder. I do want my student loans, but he just made a blunder. He made a blunder.
That wasn't even a blunder. They twisted the shit out of context. Like, he stutters. And he was talking about Satchel Paige, and he says, he was like the great Negro, and then there's a stutter, and he says, they referred to it at the time as the Negro League, but he was like the great pitcher from the Negro League, Satchel Paige, and then Fox News edited the clip, and then only showed it saying the great Negro. Satchel Paige. So they try to make it sound like he called Satchel Paige the great Negro. You know what I mean?
He was.
I mean, I don't see anything wrong with him. I mean, that's not his name. He called him out his name, but it's not like you're like the dirty nigger. Like, what would you rather? Like, if I had my choice, and that's what I told this dude the other day. He's like, oh, because he posted it. I'm like, man, they flipped the video. He's like, yeah, but he said the great Negro. I'm like, would you rather the great Negro from him or Trump, who you loved, who would have said the dirty? Never mind. All right, you got it, dog.
But what's really happening there though is that I was talking to somebody about this when you look at like Fox News, it's basically politics of grievance, right? And remember they used to do every year the War on Christmas, and that thing was it was a seasonal thing. Christmas comes around, boom, here comes all the War on Christmas stories, right? Now it's year round, so any grievance they can find is basically keeping these people angry, which keeps them active. It's like, think of it this way. Fox News was social media before social media existed. And what I mean by that is that the way that social media makes money is engagement. They have to keep you looking at the app, right? Keeping you looking at your screen. And that's what Fox News does. They keep you angry, so they keep you engaged. And then that keeps you politically active because now you're pissed off about whatever grievance that they've told you is out there, and that's going to make you go and vote for Republicans because every grievance you have is something that the left or the Democrats did, right? That your kid is learning something in school you don't like, the left. You can't find your car keys this morning, the left. You know, like literally think back. Think back a year ago, right? Had you even heard of critical race theory a year ago?
I did because I studied it in school.
You did, right?
Yeah.
I had heard of it because I'm into this kind of shit. The common person who's just living their life had no idea what critical race theory was a year ago. Now, when they do polling after what happened in Virginia, they talked on the right. What's your number one issue in this election? Most people, number one issue is always what? The economy. In Virginia, the number one issue for Republicans is education, i.e., critical race theory. I don't want my second grader learning critical race theory, even though critical race theory is something they teach in the second year of law school.
I don't want my kids knowing that slavery existed, and
right.
That's what it really is. And I mean,
so all it is just grieving.
But this is why the left has to stop being the church's party. Okay, like get out there and fight dirty. That's why I like the AOCs, because she knows.
Oh, I know why you like the AOC.
You gotta
but tell us why. Tell us why.
I like her because
AOC.
she's fighting that aggression with aggression, man, and she's real, and she wears her intentions on her sleeve. The Democratic Party is too old.
Sound convincing.
It's too old to me, even though it's a lot of people in there that's turning over and all of that. But it's the church's party. They want to fucking still be nice about shit, and it's just bullshit. I want somebody who's gonna fucking play dirty and fight for what we want. The people actually want.
Can I tell you why I like AOC?
Yeah, go ahead.
Never mind, guys.
She bleached her ass. She has a bleached asshole.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
No?
Yo!
All right, let's just end this one.
What?
Until next time, everyone.
Yeah.
What I said.
Oh no, isn't she from where's she from? She
I
from
just asked.
Bronx.
Yeah.
She's from the Bronx? Yeah, she don't bleach. She don't bleach now.
No, you're right.
But she could
Oh Lord.
It's mine. And she just no. I'm sorry. I was trying to link my Kanye.
I like her because she's trying to get me my student loans. That's why I like her.
Yeah, Liz too.
I like Liz too, man.
Liz Warren.
E-Dubs.
Lizzie. E-Dubs.
E-Dubs.
E-Dubs for president, man.
I since I became aware of her, like back in like the early like 2010s, like I'm like, yo, I like what she's talking about, yo. Like, you know what I mean? Like she just you hear it, the passion in when she speaks. And then it's not one of those things where, you know, I'm going to talk about it and then I'm not going to be about it. But as long as I'm talking about it, people think I'm about it. Where she, you know, it's her, you know, talking about it, being about it, you know, voting forward. You know what I mean? And I'm here for it. You know what I mean? And the thing is that it's just like that video that I sent you guys. I don't know if you saw it. And it was saying like how the Democratic Party, one thing that they're failing at is messaging, right? People don't vote on policy. I mean, I do. You know, but I'm into policy, right? I'm a political nerd, right? People vote on how they feel, you know, and people say to our earlier conversation, Steve, about Thanksgiving, yo, I went to buy my turkey and that shit was $60. Last year it was $25. Biden's fucking up. You know what I mean? And that's it goes just like that. You know, I went to get gas. And you know, before Biden was in office, gas was $2.85. Now it's $3.85. This guy's fucking up. I don't know. You know, we got to change course here. You know what I mean? Because most people are living their lives, right? They go based on how they feel. People feel the economy. They don't look at the numbers. When you look at the numbers, unemployment's low. The unemployment percentage is down. The stock market is through the roof. People's 401ks are through the roof. All the things they use to measure economic activity and growth, etc., are up. But when you ask people, when they ask the question they ask in every poll, right track, wrong track, it's like 40-something% of the country says the country's on the wrong track. Even though all the economic data shows the country's doing great and it's about to get even better because it's about to get a big fucking sugar high off of this infrastructure bill, right? And then if they get the other infrastructure bill passed, even more so. You know what I mean? But when you ask people the way they feel the economy, we're on the wrong track. I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing. You know? And to Steve's point, and to EJ's as well, when you talk about the student loan thing, for example, right? And it's why I've continued to say I think they may be holding this thing, right? But if they did that and you ask somebody, Yo, how you think Biden's doing? Yo, it's killing it. Why? I got no student loans. You know, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? But the Democrats suck at messaging. Do you know? I saw a poll this week that showed almost 50% of the American people don't know that because of Biden, they're getting that child tax credit on the 15th of every month.
Right.
That's
this
nuts.
dude is literally putting money in your pocket monthly.
It's nuts.
And people don't know it.
I was gonna mention that, but you know, Laurie doesn't ever let anybody talk. So Laurie be like, "This is the topic. I'm taking the whole segment. Pros, cons, you know, all of it." No, you took it. You took it away. You got it. All right. You niggas ain't getting gas, but you're getting tax credits. You should be happy. Yeah, man. People are it's crazy, man. It's we're an interesting people, man. We are an interesting people.
That's for sure.
What else is going on? They about to run your boy Astro World through the dirt. That motherfucker. I hope he had insurance, because now the city is throwing him under the bus too. I think it was the police chief came out and made a statement that said, "Hey, we told, you know, his staff that we wanted to meet and to not do XYZ because it could cause, you know, a riot, right? You know, there's a potential of it causing a riot." So they're saying, "Hey, we told him." We told him, and he did it, and this happened. So they're basically washing their hands of it as a city, as you know, it wasn't our security, it wasn't our problem. You know, you kind of caused this. We told you, hey, we have the bandwidth to cover XYZ, but if you went to this level, we probably couldn't cover it, and you went to that level, and we ain't covered. So he about to get hit, man. He about to get hit hard, and it's gonna be interesting. And you know how our society is today. Everybody trying to get paid off anything. You know, if they can sue, they gonna sue. You got people that bought tickets that probably weren't even there that are gonna try and sue. Like, you know, I'm telling you.
I think that you're right on the foundation of what you're saying.
Am I ever wrong?
Most of the time. But but you know, if I had to guess, I would assume that this concert wasn't something that was put on by Travis Scott. It was probably put on by some production company that Travis Scott owns. That's an LLC, which means they're going to be suing the company, not
bankruptcy
him.
Like a motherfucker.
You see what I'm saying? And they probably have some type of insurance for the event or whatever. You know, but at the end of the day, even if the police chief is saying, "Well, we told you you can't do XYZ," like, you guys run the city, so you told him, but he did it like, how does that work?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's my thing. If it was a violation of some kind of code, how did it allow? How was it allowed to be had? You know,
right?
Like you can't even fucking operate a bar without a license. So you
had
20,000 people on the spot.
But if I tell you, yo, you can't walk down the street with your dick out, you can still pull your dick out, right? They can't prevent you from doing that, right? So they might have told them, hey,
but Steve, but we're talking.
Well, they could arrest you after the fact.
Okay, so we have laws against.
But if
murder,
I told
right?
you I
people
put
get
my
murdered
dick out first, and you could stop me then.
No, but if they said, hey, listen,
why are we talking about that anyway?
Because if they said, hey, listen, you know, we've seen historically in your concerts that you start doing XYZ. If you do that, you know, we've seen the impact that it's had, and we think it'll cause a problem. So, you know, can you tell us that you're not going to do that? Like we're saying that if you do that, we can't hold this. We can't hold the line. Oh no, I got you. We won't do it. I won't do it. Middle of concert. Fuck these niggas. And then it starts, right? At that point it's too late. There's nothing they can't do anything about that. That's not the police or the city's problem. That's his problem.
No, but here's my thing though, right? When you do events like that, you have to get permits and that kind of shit, right? And so if a place is permitted to only hold, 15,000 people and 30,000 show up, they usually have, the fire department who they can come shut that shit down.
Fire marshal.
We see these things, like, especially in Miami. You go to South Beach and there's a club that has, a 600 person capacity, and the fire chief will come and shut that shit down if it's too crowded, because it's a hazard. It's a potential, it's a safety issue. You know what I mean? Right. Even when we're talking about the top levels of government, right? The State of the Union, when the president does State of the Union, they go to the Congress. That chamber only can hold, I think it's something like 600 people. It's like 1,200 people there when they give the State of the Union. They have to go and get special permission from the fire chief in D.C. to have that event there. You know what I mean? To have that level of people. And this is the president we're talking about.
And that's my point.
So how come the city couldn't shut this down?
If the city told this guy there were going to be capacity issues, that the style of the event was bad, they had the power to shut it down, and they didn't. These type of things get shut down faster than anything, more than not. So how was it in this instance when you had all of the right reasons to shut it down? Hey, you told them, and yeah, he didn't stick to the letter of what you talked about, but when it got out of control, it was y'all job to shut it down.
And because what the police chief is saying, Steve, he's essentially saying this: we told you that you can't do this shit, and then you told us. I mean, yeah, that's like your opinion, man, and you did it anyway, and then we didn't do anything.
Right, but we're not talking. It's not capacity, right? We're not talking about a capacity issue. We're talking about, hey, if we say, hey, for example, and I'm just going to use easy stuff. Hey, EJ, you're going to be coming and speaking at XYZ university, but we know that the student body here is really sensitive about George Floyd, so we're going to ask you not to pump up anything about George Floyd. And EJ's like, all right, I got you. And then EJ gets there and he's like, yo, can I get a hell yeah for George Floyd? And then a riot breaks out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of thing that you're talking about. And so at that point, they're reactive and they're going to try and fix it because the EJ said, yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about George Floyd. We'll just talk about a bunch of other stuff. This is what I'm going to be talking about here. Here, look, no George Floyd anywhere here. And then he gets up there and he goes rogue. Yo, George Floyd, and then he's like, you know what I'm saying? And they just start beating up people, right? That's the type of thing that the chief was saying. I don't know exactly what it was. I have to look it up. But I think it was something like, as part of your show, please don't do blah 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 because you're seeing that it's had a bad impact in the past, negative impact in the past, and I don't. Again, these people were rushing the stage. I don't think it was a capacity issue. It was rushing the stage. And they're like, oh, I got to get close to him. I need to be as close as possible to see this. And, nobody's thinking it. But
the drugs part, too, is, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Now, that's a huge issue. We talked about that last week, man. These festivals, man, they're EDM. There was an EDM festival here in Florida this past weekend. I think it was maybe Friday night or Saturday night. Friday night. It might be the whole weekend. But the motherfuckers is in there. Pilled up, smoked up, I mean, nobody's really checking, man.
Yeah, you showed your age with that one. The motherfuckers in there pilled up, smoked up.
Listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. All right, man. Let's fast forward. Let's move on.
Yo, Dolphins beat the Ravens.
Fuck those guys.
The Dolphins beat the Ravens.
I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, man. They're not gonna catfish me again and get me like, oh, maybe we got something cooking. Fuck those guys.
No, yeah, y'all division is just a bunch of catfish. Jets over here beating people, like getting wins. Dolphins beat the Ravens. New England out here 5-3 somehow.
Bills
they winning games.
Jaguars.
The Bills losing to the Jags. Like, y'all just a catfish fucking division. Trash.
I tell you what, man. I'm happy that the Dolphins beat the Ravens because these Ravens fans are mad. They are mad. They want to fire the offensive coordinator, but Lamar Jackson is having a phenomenal season with no receivers, right? And they want to fire the offensive coordinator. Next thing you know, they'll want to fire Harbaugh and everything else. Ravens fans don't deserve nice things.
I mean, what you saw happen in that game is what happens to any quarterback when you get pressure. How did the Giants win the Super Bowl against Brady? They put pressure on Brady. Mm-hmm. If you don't let a quarterback sit back there and have 10 years throw the ball, you can have good results like that, Because when I don't know how much of that game you guys watched, but
zero.
the game itself, it really wasn't a game until about the second half of the third quarter, and then the fourth, you know. But what traditionally happens with the Dolphins is that the defense comes out there, they'll start off good. Offense comes out, 3 and out. Defense comes back, good. 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Now the defense is like, shit, the first quarter's 15 minutes. We've been on the field for 14 minutes. We're tired, you know. Now we start getting fucking blown up, and you go into halftime and the score's, 24-3. You know, and then you just rinse, wash, repeat in the second half.
But how did they win this game though?
In this game, what was happening was, even it wasn't a lot of offense, but the Dolphins wasn't just 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. It was like, okay, we got a first down. We went 3 downs, first down on third. Then we got a first down on second down, and then we went 3 and out. Defense had a chance to get a breather. They would come in and then force a punt from the Ravens. So like if you were in a fantasy league that had punters, I mean, you could have made a killing on Thursday night because there was a lot of fucking punting happening. And then in the second half, once Jacoby Brissett got hurt and Tua came in, it's like the offense got a little bit energized. The Dolphins was like, yo, we're fucking 2-7. Let's try some shit. Did a couple trick plays, opened up, to like the back page of the fucking playbook, and shit start happening. And then once the offense starts going, the defense starts getting hyped. Troy Aikman even commented like when they showing like right before the ball gets snapped, you see the defensive guys on the line, they over there dancing and shit, waiting to get in their stands. And Troy Aikman was like, I'm gonna tell you something. He was like, this game ain't blown open yet, but as an offensive player, you don't want to see that. When you see the defense like on that side, they look like they energized, they hype. You don't want to see that. And they just kept putting pressure on him, Flores with the creative blitzes and shit. Pressure bust pipes. And that's what happened.
I'm happy they won because I'm tired of Ravens fans. Ravens fans don't deserve nice things. They don't. They for a franchise as young as they are, their franchise is only 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like from when it was the Colts to the Ravens, it's only like 25 years old. You have a Super Bowl in your first 4 years of existence.
It's like
then you have another
like
one.
At my head, Steve.
Huh?
Because he was like, their franchise is only 25 years old, and I'm sitting over here like double Dutch, waiting to jump in and be like, actually,
right.
Like, from the time they were the Colts, when they went to Colts.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
Like, this guy's gonna be a dick.
I'm talking about the Ravens, though. The Ravens organization.
I got you.
It's only 25 years old. Jonathan Ogden, I just met the dude last week.
Mm-hmm.
They get a Super Bowl within their first 4 years of existence. How many franchises can say that? Then they get another one, right? And you're talking about a team that has built it all through the draft. They didn't have free agents like that. They built it all through the draft. And these people get mad when they have a bad game. Lamar Jackson is one of the top 5 offensive players in the NFL. Are you going to tell me that the offensive coordinator is a problem? How?
Yeah.
How? You know how dumb that is? You want to give this quarterback who's only had one guy his whole career a different OC, and he's balling. If he was having a horrible season, then I can understand that. But he's balling.
Yeah.
This makes zero sense.
Let's not talk like the Dolphins. I mean, the Dolphins are shit, but when you look at their record, but when you look at the team as a whole and the talent on paper, they do have a pretty good talented team, right? And when you speak of it, you speak to it, when you talk about the pressure that Vari's talking about, and you pair that with the coverage, they do have 2 shutdown corners, right? So it's not like they don't have a good secondary. Pair a good secondary with a rookie receiver in Bateman and a one-trick pony in Marquise Brown, who also drops the ball every chance he gets. And now you get a little bit of pressure. It's gonna make it difficult for this guy, right? If you can spy a Lamar Jackson and still get the coverage on the back end, you're in a good spot, right? So that's what they're doing. They're leaving the middle of the field open and saying, hey, if you're going to beat us, it's not going to be with your legs. It's not going to be with the deep ball. It's going to be with Mark Andrews, and that's it. And if you can't beat us with Mark Andrews because we can find a way to hold coverage there, we're going to get to you. And that's what the Dolphins did. That's exactly what the Dolphins did.
Exactly to Steve's point, EJ. Like you say, you didn't watch the game. Dolphins basically play cover 0, man-to-man coverage. Every DB is on an island, and we send everybody else, and that's it. and they did that all night. And they kept, disguise the looks, pressure comes from this side, comes from this side, come up the middle. This time we blitz the corner, we blitz the linebacker off the edge, whatever. And they just did that all night or whatever. But it's because, like Steve said, they have two good corners, and they put them out there on the island and said Lamar Jackson got to beat us because we sending everybody, and they just did it all night. And when it works well because now, you got this guy under pressure because me and my brother had this conversation. Like you, EJ, my brother played college ball. He played O-line. And so he particularly loves to watch the O-line whenever he's watching a game. He talks about, man, these niggas suck, da da da. And even though you think Tua's trash, my brother says he don't think Tua's the guy. I'm starting to get in the camp that Tua's not the guy, right? But even if you think Tua's not the guy or he's trash, you can see that Tua is not. He hikes the ball and he's expecting to get hit because our O-line is trash. And so he's not going through his progression. It's like first read, throw the ball. I can't make it to the third read because if I do, I'm going to end up getting a blind side and getting fumble. So one read, if it ain't there, I'm looking at the second guy and I'm throwing it, and that, or I'm going to take off and run, and so when you watch the game last night, once these guys get to a point where they're feeling themselves, or Thursday night, when they got to a point where they were kind of feeling themselves, that was the first game that I've seen where Tua actually looked a little comfortable in the pocket, because it's like these guys was like, yo, like we can do this. And they started doing it, So, it's one of those things, man, where they just put the pressure on and they made Lamar Jackson uncomfortable and the shit worked.
Yeah. I just hope y'all play like shit when we play y'all.
I'm not getting my hopes up, man. Like I said, I'm not gonna, every year that they do something, it's like, yo, I start feeling some kind of way. I'm not letting them catfish me, dog. I'll take the win. I love it, but whatever.
Yeah. And you don't got to worry about a running game with that team. They don't have a running, so you don't got to worry about them beating you, because they're beating the blitz with the run. I mean, listen, it was a disaster for the Ravens, and just a well planned game, and you guys executed. They knew the assignment. All right, man. So what you guys been watching?
For me, I didn't get a chance to see Eternals. We had a lot of stuff happen this weekend, but I did watch Red Notice, the new Netflix joint with Gal Gadot, The Rock, and Ryan Reynolds.
I gotta see that. How was it?
What's it called?
It's called Red Notice.
Okay.
It was straight. There were parts of it that I didn't like, and what I mean by that is that it was funny, but it didn't have the intention, I think, that the people who made the movie thought it was gonna have. Because in the movie, Ryan Reynolds is essentially Deadpool in a movie that he's playing an art thief. There's like all these jokes and like pop culture references and shit like that. And it was like if I'm watching Deadpool, I expect it, But it's almost like they say, hey, be Deadpool in this movie.
But that's who he is now. That's who he is in every movie now.
Yeah, and I don't like that. And it's one of the reasons why I told you guys before I don't like Kevin Hart. Because every Kevin Hart movie that I watch is, hey, did you guys know I'm short?
Right.
Here's a short joke. Here's another short joke for you. Here's another short joke. And I don't like that. It's like, okay, we get it, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But unfortunately, Ryan Reynolds, he can't be taken seriously now. Like, unfortunately, and
this is not a serious role. It's not. It's kind of a I wouldn't say it's a comedy. It's kind of like hedging on like comedy suspense kind of thing. It's basically like he's an art thief and The Rock is like a cop or whatever. And but yeah, it's just it was straight. It's I don't feel bad that I don't feel like I wasted my time, but I didn't like that part of it.
I watched The Harder They Fall with stars for the cast, man. Jay-Z produced, I think, or had a hand in this. Regina King, you got Keith Stanfield, Idris Elba, Jonathan Majors, black Western type joint, Zazie Beetz.
I watched it last week. We talked about it.
Yeah, it was cool. I think it was a horrible plot twist, like horrible plot holes.
Well, Steve hasn't watched it yet.
Yeah, horrible plot holes though, but it was cool. And I also watched some other joint Can't remember the name of it, but it was essentially a vampire movie in LA, and it had one of my favorite new Mexican actors in it. Can't remember his name, but that was pretty okay. Yeah, I'm trash, I know.
Had my favorite actor. I can't remember his name.
I said one of my new favorite Mexican actors, man. You mean?
Oh man.
Let me tell you why I like AOC.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you
That's,
something. Oh, it's
um,
called Night Teeth. That's what it's called. It's called Night Teeth. And I can tell you who's in it, but it's called Night Teeth. It's a vampire movie, and it was decent. Decent.
I love going back and rewatching these old shows that I watched when I was younger and not as mature.
You always find something.
Because there's so many gems in a lot of the stuff that you're seeing, and I'm rewatching The Wire. So I went through The Sopranos and loved that, and now I'm watching The Wire, and there's just so much in there, and I forgot how good of a role Idris Elba played in that. Like, but
Stringer.
now, right? Here's the funny part. Like back then, because I wasn't super in tune with, entertainment. I watched movies, and I was a movie buff and shit like that, but I wasn't into watching interviews and shit like that. I didn't know back then that he had that he was from
British.
England or whatever, that he was British, right? So, but now that I know that, I'm picking up on like some of the the hood his dialect. I can hear sometimes where he's saying some stuff, and I'm like, this British bastard. But damn, he did it. Listen, man, that show is fucking amazing, dude. It is timeless. Omar, fuck, man, rest in peace to that guy. I forget his name.
Michael K. Williams.
Yep.
Michael, yeah, he is
Bubbles.
just something. Bubs was something
Bubbles.
different, man. Bubs, listen, they did a great job with that, and I'm still only on episode 7. Like that's the crazy part. I got seasons upon seasons to go, and
unseasoned.
I
I need to rewatch Oz though.
I've never seen it. I always
Oz
gonna
don't
watch
get
it.
the
I never
flowers.
did.
Oz does not get the flowers it
no,
deserves.
Oz was great for like the first 4.
Yeah.
Once they
but
decided,
think
hey,
about
full
the people-
frontal is okay. I was like, yeah.
Think about the people that came from Oz though. That
Yeah.
cast.
I guess in today's society, that tail end of no pun intended, the tail end of Oz is probably going to be super accepted. If you get my gift.
Mhm.
Yeah, I never watched. I always said I was going
Bareback.
to, but I never did. But
Oz
but
was
to the-
so good, man. We watched it every week. Me and my mom
Mhm.
sat down and watched that show every week. And from Adabisi, like
That's look at that cast, bro.
yeah.
That cast of Oz, it's like they have, when you're talking about people that have arrived, that you're talking about a show that has
What was
had
the white dude's name in the show?
Winters, got Dean Winters, J.K. Simmons,
I don't know these people.
Imam Walker, you got the guy in the wheelchair, Harold Purnell, Ernie Hudson was in it, Christopher Maloney, who went and did the fucking SVU series. Yo, that cast was outrageous, man.
What's the dude?
Falco in there? Yo, she was crazy.
I don't remember seeing her. What was the dude's name that played the Nazi? That's like big everywhere
J.K.
right
Simmons.
now. Okay,
J.K. Simmons.
there you go. And what was his name in the show?
Something something. I can't remember his name.
You don't have it up. You were just looking at it.
I was actually going off the top of my head. Shit.
I'm not doing this with him. I'm not doing this with him today. Then get a little bit of hair, start fighting niggas,
and something. Oh, but, Schillinger was his name in the
Schillinger, that was my dude. Like, yo, he played Vari. You gotta watch that shit.
Yo,
you gotta watch it. You're gonna watch it, and it's funny because we've seen him in so many different roles now and commercials and shit like that. That when you go back and watch it, you're gonna be like, yo, this motherfucker was racist. Like this nigga was great. Yo, he was a bad motherfucker, boy. In that
terrible,
show.
Son.
Yeah. When you I watched this thing on The Wire. It was like on YouTube, but it was saying like how when they went to do like their casting, or not casting, but like their audition, and it was saying like some of the parts that other people auditioned for, and like the guy who played Bubbles, he auditioned to be the guy Sid Nor, the black cop, like the young cop.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He auditioned to be him. And then he auditioned for another part I can't remember. And then like the guy who played Slim Charles, he originally auditioned for Stringer Bell, and and so they were like just going down the list of like the ones like that who, oh, I originally auditioned for this, and then they hit me up and was like, yo, we want you to play this part in the show or whatever. And so that was pretty cool. So, and then the thing with what that's so good about Idris Elba is that like when he auditioned, he was like the assistant casting director hit him up and was like, hey, we want you to come audition for this part. He was like, but here's the thing. He was like, what's his name? David Chase, the guy who made the series. He was like, David wants all American actors. He wants, he was like, so can you do a New York accent? And he was like, yeah. And he was like, so he was like, just the whole time you're there, stay in the New York accent. Don't talk with your normal voice, because he doesn't want any overseas actors. And they had already made the exception for the guy who played McNulty, because he's like Irish or something like that. And he was like, so Idris Elba does it, and he knocks it out. And then he was like, they was talking, and then like he slipped, and then David Chase was like, what the fuck, and then they started talking, and then he was like, yeah, I'm from London, da da da. And he was like, but David Chase loved him and still cast him in the role, even though he said he didn't want he wanted all Americans in it. He didn't want any British actors and shit.
Yeah, Some Charles actually a DC legend. He's a famous person in the go-go band, Backyard Band. So even him playing that role was different, because he's from DC, completely different place, I mean, to be playing that role.
Yeah.
So they got away with that one.
They did a good job, man. They did a great job. I don't think anybody could have played Omar better than
I couldn't see anybody else in that role.
He captured that shit, dog. He captured
there's some people who like what's his name? The guy who plays Bunk. Like I couldn't see nobody else playing Bunk but that dude.
Yeah, he did good with that.
And Wood Harris, man.
Yeah, Wood Harris.
Wood Harris.
He don't get the credit he deserves.
He don't miss, man.
He's a great actor.
He don't miss. And it's crazy how in BMF, him and his brother, that was the first time, Vari, you're not watching it, but Wood Harris and his brother Steve Harris being in the same scene for the first time in their acting careers.
Yeah.
In what?
I didn't even realize they were brothers.
Yeah, Wood Harris has a brother. It's BMF on Stars. 50 Cent show. Yeah, these guys being in the same scene for the first time in their acting careers. It's crazy.
Dude, I didn't until I saw that. I didn't know that they were brothers. I didn't even know. But yeah, Wood Harris, he don't get his flowers, man. He don't get his flowers. That dude, everything he's in is a hit.
Yeah,
everything he touches turns to gold, man. Even that the new edition biopic, he was like, did you watch it? Did you ever watch it, Vari?
No.
Oh man, I need to find that on streaming, because I love it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I watched it and I liked it a lot.
But I mean, even if you watch like with Wood Harris and Remember the Titans, like everybody thinks about Denzel and shit like that, but like he was phenomenal in that. And even though he wasn't like the big, the main guy or whatever,
Strong side. Yo, he was old as shit playing that role.
Yeah.
He was old as fuck.
They usually are.
Yo, no, that's incredibly old though. Like he was super old playing that role. I guess
that's like
they
the
were
kid
playing
from
1960s people.
Yeah, like when Steve put me on All American. The guy who plays the black kid, he's British, one.
Yes.
And two, he's like 29 playing a fucking 16-year-old.
Yeah.
That whole show, you could tell they old though. All of them.
Old as shit.
You can tell
old. The other kids are actually younger though. The light skinned kids. The coaches kids.
They're not high school young though.
They close as shit to it. The closest thing to it. But when I found out he was British, I was fucking hurt, yo. This nigga not from Compton.
Wood Harris. His real name is Sherwin. Sherwin David Harris.
That's funny.
It'd be like,
From The Shy. Man, that dude, man, yeah, he's something else.
yeah,
I haven't really been watching much of shit, man. The Wire's been my thing. I still gotta watch Eternals, and there's a bunch of stuff that I gotta catch up on, man.
yeah.
But soon this holiday season, I'll have some stuff to watch, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I've been watching, I mean, it's a season though, is the series finale of Insecure. It started like 3 weeks ago. They're like on episode, I think episode 4 is tonight.
Yes,
I haven't
that
been
sounded
watching.
bad. I have. They're doing good, man. They're still doing really good with that show. It's tough to know that it's gonna end. What's her name? Issa Rae. Man, she is funny, dude.
Yeah, I like her a lot.
She's just funny. She's got that role down. And then the dude that plays, dude, that like the whole baby father, baby mama shit they got going on is so spot on. Like they're hitting that shit so spot the fuck on, man.
Because I mean, even though those people themselves aren't in that situation, but you know, like people in our community, like we talk, we know each other, you know what I mean? So even though it's not necessarily a lived experience, I bet one of them got a cousin or a close friend or something like that. So when they portray it, they can seem like it's real. You know, it don't really have to seem like acting. You know what I mean? And that's you know was the you know what could happen when you have culturally appropriate people playing certain roles. You know, and it kind of makes you think, like, especially if you watch the direction of the show. I don't know if you saw a couple of weeks ago, Issa was saying when she first came to HBO, the show, when they decided to pick it up, they were like, basically, we like the idea, whoop, whoop, but we don't think you should have an all black cast. So those white people who were in the first season, they made her put those people in the show. I think they were in the first 2 seasons. And like since then, the show has basically gone pretty much all black, or, you had Molly who had the Asian boyfriend, but it's pretty much been all people of color cast since then, And so it kind of makes you wonder, like, I don't know if this was the vision the whole time, but I wonder where the show would have gone if it went the way Issa originally designed it, with an all black cast.
That dude that plays Lawrence he's doing a good job, man. He's doing
he's
a great job.
He's a great actor.
He's making, like, he actually, while I'm watching it, I was like, I was feeling his pain, dog. I was like, yo, get this man his baby. Like, yo, I was tight. See it. Like, I was tight, dog.
I haven't seen it. I gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it. It's only, I mean, the good thing I love about Insecure is, it's 30 minutes, and it's really less than 30 because they always cut early. But because the show is so damn good, and they found a way to condense everything, it's good. Like, it's 26 minutes of really good content always. It's not like, oh, I only got 26 minutes, but 12 of it was trash. Like, the whole episode is always, is good, and they've been doing such a good job with it, man.
I like the girl. I like the girl Kelly.
I love her.
Oh yeah,
I love her.
She's the star of that show for me.
She plays that. I wish that character got more airtime, but it's only 30 minutes. So I love that character.
She's getting her spots though, like at the birthday party.
Yeah,
she does her thing. It's funny though, because it seems like that role is for her, because in what was the one that I forget the name of the one that I had you guys watch on HBO, or Bar, you watched it, right? With
White Lotus.
White Lotus. I didn't really like her in that.
Yeah,
she seemed out of her element. Like it just, or maybe it's because all I know her for personally, and I'm sure other people know her for, but the only thing I know her for is Insecure. So I'm like, where's the funny? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I had that same feeling watching White Lotus. It's like, it's almost like Insecure is typecaster for us. So you expect her to be like funny and loud and shit like that, and then in that role, she's more serious, and it's kind of like, what the fuck's going on? Know, so.
I'm sure that happens with actors and actresses all the time, for sure. But yeah, man, I got some stuff to catch up on, man. I got a lot of stuff to catch up on. Look forward to it. Football Sunday, of course. What's our? Let's see. I'm looking at the docket to see what the biggest game. One of the biggest games today.
Aaron Rodgers is
Let's.
gonna play.
Aaron
Yeah,
Rodgers, of course.
I think it's
They're
some
gonna.
bullshit.
He's gonna
Should I
play.
should I start him? Devontae Adams is back. He's
Of
back.
course, you got to start him. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not like
He's let me down before, man.
nah. You got to start him. Seattle's defense is freaking terrible.
You're right.
But
Jamal Adams plays for them.
right, but Russ Wilson is back
Yeah, I
today,
was gonna
so
say Wilson's back.
I'm excited to see that. We're also
Russell
probably
Wilson
gonna
is trash.
see. We're gonna probably see Haskins because Ben is in COVID protocol, so he's not playing today.
Mm-hmm.
Yo,
So
Mike Gesicki gave me 0 points.
Yo, it just I don't know. He
game script.
no, they would target him. He got like
He got
9
7
passes.
targets.
Or 7. Yeah, they
Yeah,
got
but
targeted. He just didn't catch anything.
The other guy was the one that was catching him. I don't know.
Waddle,
No.
Jalen.
the
The
rookie.
other tight end.
Oh, Smythe.
It wasn't even him. It was like your third one.
Oh, okay. So it's Gesicki, Smythe, and then the other one is named
Like
I don't fucking know.
No, Shaheen
Shaheen.
is
That's his name. Shaheen.
Is that who you guys have? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Shaheen.
Yeah, he was making
Bruh.
he was good.
Not one catch, bro. Not
Yeah,
one.
they targeted him. It's just it happened.
0 points.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
So we're
I
ahead of
think-
the curve. So let's do a quick fire.
If you put 2 in, you would have got a pat. He got a catch. They did a trick play where he threw it to the receiver, then the receiver threw it back to him, and he threw it to the running back. The running back threw it back to him, and he threw it back to the running back, and then Gaskin took off.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot.
You'll be all right. All right, so we're ahead of time. So let's run through these games then, since we're here. Buffalo going into the Jets. It's a great start.
Oh. At New York, right?
In New York. Yep.
I'm gonna go Jets here. I don't believe in it, but I'm behind in the standing, so I want to go Jets to try to make up some ground.
I'll pass.
All right. So
Nah,
Buffalo
give me the
it
Jets.
is.
Give me the Jets.
Oh, all right. Point for me. I'm going Buffalo. Tampa Bay going into Washington.
Shit. Bucks.
Yeah, that's me too. Atlanta's going into Dallas.
I don't know
Dallas
what y'all, man.
with Denver last week. Yeah,
They looked bad last week.
I don't know what y'all.
I'm gonna go Dallas. They get their shit together and do they take care of business.
I'm gonna go Falcons.
You just lost a point. New Orleans going into Tennessee. Julio Jones is on IR. Derrick Henry's on IR.
I'm gonna take New Orleans.
7-2 somehow.
Well, who's the quarterback in New Orleans?
What's the white kid's name?
Taysom.
No, the other one. Oh yeah, that's right. They're both white. The one that came from Denver.
Simeon.
Simeon. Yeah,
Simeon,
Trevor Simeon.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take the other team.
So you're taking Tennessee?
Yeah. Well, yep. The other team. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go to Tennessee as well. I thought Taysom Hill was playing.
And no Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara's out.
Me.
Yeah, so I'm going Tennessee. Jacksonville going into Indy.
I'll take Indy.
Yeah, give me Indy.
All right, it's across the board. Detroit going into Pittsburgh. Detroit might get their first win today.
Going into Pittsburgh plus no Ben.
No Ben.
I'll take Detroit.
I don't know.
0-8. They got to get one, right?
You know what I'm saying?
They should have had a couple. That Ravens game was some bullshit.
I'm gonna go Detroit.
I'm on the Detroit train too, man. No Ben. Although we might see Pittsburgh look great, and they got no Claypool today in Pittsburgh, but we might see Pittsburgh look good today. The one that might take a little bit of an L in fantasy points for you, EJ, is Najee.
Yeah.
Because the dump downs. He might get more runs, which is a good thing, but I think he's going to lose out on some of those dump downs because Haskins sucks at that.
Yep, I agree.
Cleveland going into New England.
I'm taking Cleveland. I've been riding with Cleveland for a while.
I don't know, man. No Nick Chubb. Odell's gone.
I think Cleveland's gonna beat up Mac Jones. This is gonna be that game that Mac Jones really gets exposed.
Mac
Where's it at?
Jones. Who? Mac Jones. It's in New England.
I'm still taking Cleveland, man. And then I just think it's their time to get one, to take one L. It's their time.
I hear you. I'm gonna go with the Pats here.
Not a
I'm
bad
on.
choice.
I'm on New England also. Um, which will put them at 6-4. So it's huge if the Jets go ahead and beat up on Buffalo today, because that'll put Buffalo at 5-4. But even if Buffalo wins that game, if New England fucks around and wins, now you got two. They're both at 6-4. Buffalo gonna find a way to fuck around and lose that division.
If we beat Buffalo, that puts the Pats atop the AFC East,
Right.
Because the Pats beat our ass twice.
Yep. All right. Minnesota going into the Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah. No. Give me the Vikings.
Minnesota.
I got the Chargers. Carolina going into Arizona. I don't think they're starting Cam today.
I was about to ask, is Cam playing?
I don't know.
I don't think he's starting today. I think they said
I think it's like a COVID protocol thing.
Yeah, I forget the guy's name.
Play PJ something.
Washington?
Nah, PJ something. Cam should be able to play though. I think that's Washington.
No, I hear you, but I think it's like one of the.
PJ Walker.
I think it's a COVID protocol because he's been outside of the team. He has to wait a certain amount of days or something like that.
Yeah, I get it.
DeAndre Hopkins has not practiced. Chase Edmonds is out for the season. Well, is on IR. And they don't think Kyler is going to start. Nope. They don't think.
Yep.
I'm on Arizona still.
Yeah,
because I just don't trust PJ Walker, but with McCaffrey, it could be a thing for them for Carolina. You never know.
Steve, did you see the thing I put in there? I know EJ saw it because he laughed at it. The shit with Cam as Thanos from Endgame.
Yeah,
that shit was fun. Holy cow!
You couldn't live with your
I think.
Where'd that bring you?
I think it's still Cam might play. No, PJ Walker's gonna start. PJ Walker's gonna start, but Cam Newton,
is he active as a backup or something?
They're not saying in certain reports.
I don't think so.
PJ Walker's not bad though. I like PJ Walker though.
I'm going Arizona.
Who you got, EJ?
No Kyler Murray, no DeAndre. Give me Carolina.
Carolina. I could see them winning, but
yeah. Especially with no Kyler, no DeAndre. I mean, they just tooled up for them, but
they got a good defense.
Philly going into Denver.
That's nasty.
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah, I mean they got the home field though. That's a shit.
Philly's been some shit. Like,
I'm gonna take Denver, man. They might be feeling themselves after the Cowboys, So I'm gonna go with Denver.
I'm gonna go with Denver. Teddy 2 times, man. This guy, he's starting to show us that he should be a quarterback, man.
Jets should have never got rid of him, and we should have never went up the trade for dumbass Sam Darnold. We should have kept Teddy Bridgewater, drafted Quentin Nelson, who's with the Colts, and
Jets said Teddy can't take a hit.
Teddy was balling for us too, man. It was terrible. He was balling for us, man.
That was Teddy, right? The one that got his jaw broke.
No, wired shut.
Geno Smith.
Oh, okay, my bad. That's why I said he can't take a hit. I was thinking that was Teddy. I forgot about Geno Smith.
Teddy was balling for us.
Yeah, that's fucked up too. The whole Geno Smith thing, like it's like that whole jaw breaks that ruined his career.
He should have paid him.
Or just take it and move on. Hey, why is he doing the post game while his mouth is wired shut? Some things happened during the game. Seattle going
into Seattle. He was playing for Seattle. He looked all right. Coming in for Russ Wilson.
He looked
but I just
bad.
mean like Jets got him to be the guy. He never had a chance after his
he was a second round pick. We didn't.
He looked terrible. Seattle going. Oh, but he can't. But he did outlive EJ Manuel. So because didn't they come in the same year? And everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, the
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo took EJ Manuel and blah
Mhm.
blah blah." So
Yeah.
he outlived him at least.
He's still playing. EJ Manuel isn't playing. So
Yeah.
Right,
Geno Smith is
right.
still playing.
And shit, backup quarterback can get 10 million easy, especially the
Right.
way the quarterback salaries these days.
And he
Right.
had his shot. He had his shot to go out there and show something for Seattle, and it just didn't happen to work out. But had he done
Mm-hmm.
well, he might have been able to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Seattle going into Green Bay. What you got?
I
Packers.
mean, yeah, because Russell,
It's snowing.
yeah, I'm gonna go Pack.
Damn.
I'm going
Snowing
Green Bay
already?
as well. Up there, yeah, it's snowing.
Shit.
Kansas City
The
going
bones feel different in the
into
cold. Russell got that fucked up finger.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
And
Yep.
Packers
And
defense been playing good.
yeah. And I think Aaron Jones is gonna have a big game today.
Mm.
Kansas City going into Las Vegas, divisional game. KC's 5-4. LV is 5-3.
KC's been some ass this year, man.
They sure have.
But
It's
I'm
Sunday
going
night
Vegas.
game though. Vegas usually plays really well on
I almost want to
prime time.
start Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers.
Derek Carr he's a great primetime quarterback. Like it seems like in primetime, this guy's like, what's up, niggas? Like, but
Yeah, I feel like I want to start him over Aaron Rodgers. Coming back, snowing. I don't know. What do y'all think?
yeah, I mean, I get the thought, but I still would go Rodgers. You know, I do my fantasy, something that Steve taught me a while back. You know, you got to play your best player. And if you got your two quarterbacks as Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr, I'm gonna play Aaron Rodgers.
yeah, I don't get cute on fantasy, and when I do, I usually lose. So like, oh, I got this great idea. Let me
I'm
go
just,
ahead and sit
I'm
so
just
and
thinking,
so.
man. His first week back in the snow. I don't know, man.
But it's not really his first week back. I mean, he just missed one game. It's not
And
like he's been out for a month. You know.
And you got to remember who you're dealing with. Sir Dickhead himself, most arrogant motherfucker ever to walk the NFL. And this
That's
guy,
Tom
there's
Brady.
no way Aaron Rodgers is gonna come off of yeah, you're right. Tom Brady don't never come out the game. They'd be up 50. This nigga like, I'm going in, coach.
Nah,
I'm
but
going in.
there's a difference though. There's a difference, right?
Are you about to defend
Brady?
Tom Brady?
No,
Record this, mark this time slot.
Brady is a piece of shit. He's an arrogant asshole.
Okay.
But at least he got jewelry to be able, you know, to beat a man. You got to beat the man, and nobody beats him.
Damn.
So at
you
least he can be
defended
like,
Tom Brady.
you know what I mean. But
Sad
with
day.
Rodgers, it's
Sad
just
fucking day.
with Rodgers, it's just all fucking shit. It's just all talk.
Sad day. This is a sad day
You know.
for the AFC East. Sad.
But I still hate Brady, and I'm still, I still got an asterisk next to 3 of those Super Bowls.
I mean, still got what, 4 others?
Yeah, I ain't forget about the tapes. Everybody else has. I haven't.
Oh, you mean Spygate against us?
Against everybody. You know.
Nah, they only found out. We only exposed it. Y'all welcome.
Yeah, that's because Mangini was part of it.
Yeah, I promise you.
He's like,
they
y'all
didn't
do
need
this shit to me.
Yeah. I promise you, it wasn't the Jets tapes that they needed. that we can be assured of.
Wow. You guys are great.
Kansas City going into Las Vegas. What y'all got?
I'm
That's a
gonna
Sunday
go
night game.
I'm gonna go KC.
I'm gonna go Vegas.
I got KC as well. I'm gonna regret it, but I think I'm gonna go with them. I think Las Vegas. But Derek Carr, man, he's a primetime guy. All right. Monday night game is the Rams. Odell will be playing for them. He signed with them this week. Robert Woods went out with a torn ACL, which is interesting because he tore his ACL in practice, and they said he still finished the practice, and they didn't realize until afterwards when they ran some tests that he had a torn ACL. So Robert Woods is he's a beast. But the Rams going into San Fran, divisional game 7-2 Rams. San Fran is 3-5.
Yo, that Robert Woods situation, you know, if there is a football god, That was him saying, "Hey, this shit ain't right." Like, you know, like you motherfuckers can't have all these players on this one team. You know what I'm saying? God damn, yo.
Shit, they got Odell now, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, but I mean, before
Oh, yeah.
Robert. Now
Yeah.
you bringing in Odell.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
you playing fucking all-star Madden team or something. Like, what the fuck?
Matt Stafford is gonna have a fucking field day because you cannot double Cooper Cup or Odell, so he's gonna have a fucking field day.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Rams on this.
Give me the Rams, and we forget about the Rams defense.
Yeah,
right.
Get this guy Aaron Donald,
and then they just Von Miller will be playing. He's eligible this week now.
Yeah,
like come on, man.
I got the Rams, no doubt. And then Thursday, what's the Thursday game next week? Thursday, let's see. Week 11, Thursday night. You have Atlanta, and New England.
Give me the other team.
Yeah. Yep. Give me New England on Thursday.
Yeah, me too. All right. Got that in the book. Give me one bold before we get up out of here. What's a bold prediction? We'll start with EJ.
For the NFL?
For today. Oh, did you guys see the NFL is making a case to go to 18 games?
No,
they just went to 17. Jesus.
They're making a case to go to 18 games.
If it means less preseason games, I'm with it.
I think they're looking at adding an additional team or a couple additional teams to make that happen as well. Toronto.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do a team in London. It's gonna happen.
Yeah, they have to do London.
I don't know how the scheduling is gonna work, but they're gonna put a team over there.
The problem,
you've been hearing too much rumors about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like they're prepping everybody.
The big thing they got to be, mindful of now is we just had this pandemic, and while we still were able to have the games this year over there, last year that team wouldn't have been able to play. They would have had to come to the States or something, right? So it would have made it a challenge. So I think they're thinking a little different there, but for an 18 game season, they are saying NFL already aiming for a future 18 game season, and the cities that they're looking at, this thing is taking forever to load up. Damn it, I lost it, but I know Toronto, San Antonio was two of them. There was 4 teams that they were looking at pretty heavily, and
I don't like
ironically, I'm either. But ironically, London wasn't one of them. But of course, that's it's beginning stages. They just started talking.
Right.
Obviously, things change and money talks when it comes to shit like this. So, but all right. So let's go to give me a bold prediction for today for you guys. EJ, we'll start with yours.
Well, how about that? Shit. Kirk Cousins. Nope. They playing the Chargers. Kirk Cousins throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
I can see that happening.
I don't know. I had nothing.
Why? What you got? I haven't thought of anything either, but
yeah, I didn't know we were going here. Shit. I don't know. Fucking Russell Wilson comes back and throws for 400.
All right, we're done. So at this point, I'm gonna hand this over to the VP.
Yo, real quick, Steve, before you pass it off, Gruden suing the NFL. What's up?
Yeah. I did post that in the chat.
What's the basis?
He's essentially saying the NFL sought to destroy his career by leaking those emails out. So I'm assuming the lawsuit has some kind of like defamation basis or something like that, but I just saw the thing EJ posted and I haven't actually read the story, but I just thought it was crazy. Like, you're saying that they're trying to destroy me by releasing words that I wrote myself and sent in an email. Like, what
But
the
you know
fuck?
something though?
He's gonna win.
One thing John Gruden isn't, he's not stupid. And with the insight that he has and just knowing the league and sitting in the positions that he's been in, he's got insight to know how to go at these people.
Mm-hmm.
So this could get nasty.
Yeah. And was crazy too, like on the not Ravens, the Raiders side of things, is that they gave him that huge
Contract.
10-year $100 million contract. And I think, if I remember correctly, I think they guaranteed that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, if they did, you're on the hook for all this fucking money, you know, for years to come. Like, it was just so stupid, yo. It was so fucking stupid.
And that could quite possibly be what he's, you know, we don't know the details, but that could be a part of what he's trying to do, because they could be, I haven't heard it, but they could be trying to hold that money from him, you know, being based on the fact that they had to let him go.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure there's verbiage in the contract that protects against, you know, conduct and stuff like that. So
right, but I wonder if the verbiage is for stuff that happens while you're the coach versus stuff that happened 8 years ago.
So now you're talking. Now you're talking. You're not good at research, but you do come up with some good ideas. But I think, yeah, Gruden, he might be onto something, man. Listen, while it was, you know, the one thing that might harm him is it depends on, you know, where the emails originated. You know, not in the sense of them being his emails, but was it a personal email or was it a shared email with, you know, with the employer, right? And if that's the case, then he doesn't really have a leg to stand on. But if it is if it's a personal email, right, you could say you found some shit, but I don't know that it's you know, ethical for you to leak my conversations. You know,
Right.
that's, you know, think about HR concerns and stuff like that, right? You you can't generally leak that for an employee. You could say, hey, this person was separated for misconduct or whatever, but to leak what they said to potentially impact their, you know, their future, yeah, he might be onto something. He might be onto something. Plus, like we talked about earlier in this podcast, he's white and he's rich.
Yeah. I mean, you know, one of the things too is just that, you know, people in this country just, you know, sometimes people just have a lot of balls, you know, and what I mean by that is that, like, you know, you'll have a motherfucker who will sue Black & Decker and say, hey, I burned myself with your iron because you didn't put a label on the box that said I shouldn't iron clothes while wearing them. So it's your fault. Pay me. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of feel like we're in this Gruden thing is kind of a situation like that. You know, like I said, all this racist shit that came out, and it's your fault. You're trying to destroy me. You know, so like,
right,
this shit is amazing, yo. That he's suing over this shit, yo.
The arrogance, yeah,
right.
The arrogance.
If it's for that money, if it's for that contract money, yo, somebody gonna want to sue.
Right, but I mean, you know, it's just.
But that wouldn't be the NFL. That would be,
you know,
the Raiders.
That would be the Raiders.
Yeah, like I mean, I could sue somebody. I could see somebody suing fucking, you know, Playtel or something, saying, "Yo, you guys don't have a label on the thing that says I can't use yogurt as anal lube." You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck, yo?
All right.
Wait, we just gonna gloss over that? Oh.
Yeah. So let's let me tell you why I like AOC.
We just gonna gloss over that.
While we're here,
yogurt as anal lube. Wow, yo, you're out of control.
Yeah, he's a weird.
You're a sick man.
Right. Keep your bedroom to yourself, sir.
Yo, the show opened a little different today, yo. We you know, I told you, the show started off with you were talking about white folks being out of pocket. So, you know, it's kind of had a vibe, you know.
Yeah, I guess. I guess yogurt fits into that.
Sick man, yo. I ain't never heard that shit before, ever.
All right. So let's
sick.
Yogurt, huh?
Yogurt. Wow.
Yeah. Student loans and yogurt. Let me tell you why I like AOC.
Wow.
All right. All right, so let's go ahead, man, because this will leave us just about an hour to get some fancy stuff done with a lot of changes that are happening, and then stuff like that. So we'll be back next Sunday. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm going to pass the baton to the one, the only son of Tony, the VP of, I don't know, unnecessary facts, because he don't research shit. It's just shit he hears and remembers forever. You got it, VP. Take us up out of here.
Hey, we appreciate everybody for joining us to listen to this episode of the CastWorthy podcast. For anybody who listened live on the YouTube or the Facebook, we definitely appreciate you taking the time out your Sunday. For those who will listen once this episode posts later in the week, we definitely appreciate you taking the time and rocking with us as well. You can find the podcast on all of your podcasting platforms. Just search CastWorthy. And you can also find us on social media at CastWorthy on all platforms. On Instagram, it's at CastWorthy_podcast. Again, be kind to each other. We're coming into that season. Look out for somebody. Wear a mask if you can. Hopefully, you get vaccinated, get your booster, and just try not to be a piece of shit. And
stock up on yogurt.
Yeah, that too. And if you're out in public and you see somebody engaging with their child in a way that you don't find appropriate, just mind your goddamn business. You know what I mean? So, and with that, we will see you on the next episode of the podcast. We love you. We out. Peace.